Hello and welcome to Save the Data. My name is John Murphy and I'm the Field Chief Security Officer for Rubrik. I spent the last 3.5 decades working for some very large organizations and roles that included application development, management, infrastructure, operations, pretty much the gamut from an infrastructure perspective, as well as from a cyber perspective. So again, welcome everybody to Save the Data. It's a tabletop exercise, as you heard. The reason that we put Save the Data together is that we typically see that there's not a deep understanding of what happens during a ransomware attack. How do we get our sales folks to understand what happens to a company when they're hit by ransomware? But understanding it gives you knowledge about how to protect against it. And so what we decided to do is to put together this exercise for ourselves, and we used it with our own sales teams. And what we found was that they resonated very well with it. And we got requests to do this with partners as well as with customers. And so that's how we got here. We sort of evolved what we did internally for consumption by this audience.
The first priority is to find out where and how this attack originated.
So what is this thing called Save the Data? Very simply, it is a screenplay set in 6 parts. 2 of those scenes are videos you're going to watch. 4 of the scenes are interactive, where everybody sort of takes on a role. You'll find the full script copy in front of you. And the screenplay has a bunch of characters. And the characters are everybody from IT operations to senior management to application development to business leaders to legal to marketing. Everybody takes a role. Maybe you take a couple of roles and you have some fun with it.
And it looks like the systems were only processing confidential data, not highly confidential data.
As we developed those, what we really wanted to do was make sure it rang true to what's going to happen in most organizations. We didn't want to make it about their company. So we made it about a fictional company. I'll start off each one of the scenes. I play the CIO of this fictional company called Keller. Keller is a retail organization. They have revenues of about $1 billion that's split almost evenly between online and the set of retail stores they have across the country. And they have an IT team of about 40 people. That's important to note only because they see themselves as a fairly mature IT organization. But as we're going to see, there are some challenges with some of those assumptions. If you're looking to run one of these sessions, what you need to do is just make sure that people understand as they start to go through it, we're going to tell you about what happened, you're going to read about what happened, and then we're going to recap what happened. And we'll do that for each one of the acts, and then we'll discuss it. Keep the conversation going, proactively ask. Does this make sense? Has anybody seen something that wouldn't happen in your organization? Anything else jump out at you in that scene? Regulatory impact, yeah, absolutely. And then as you go through and the story develops, what you'll naturally see is people respond because they really are understanding what the script is about and they have some safety. They can get into the characters because it's not their organization.
There's a text file in there that says, we've been hit by ransomware.
For every one of these sessions, what we're hoping to achieve really is just to get them to think about their environment and whether or not they're prepared for this kind of event. We walk away either feeling like we're good, my company is fine and we have all this handled, or I've got some things I need to think about when I go back to the office and talk to other people. A lot of this comes down to just understanding how vulnerable you are and accepting that you are vulnerable. The thing that I really hope that they connect with is that this can happen to anybody. And that's really why we're doing this. It's to take this back to your own organizations and think about what would happen.